So I've been in St. Bart's for a week now, sailing on Dorade, classic 1929 Sparkman and Stevens yawl that launched the career of Olin and Rod Stevens when they finished second in the Bermuda race, won their class, went on to win the transatlantic race the next year. This boat has competed hard in the ocean, but not for a number of years, not since the 30s. And Matt Brooks and his wife Pam have done a great job of restoring the boat, bringing it up to racing condition. This week we worked on the biggest variable in a restoration effort like this, and that's the crew.
Really, we're competing against ourselves to see how much progress we can make in learning. But I think we've all learned that Dorade is a very special boat. She's a wonderful sailor, but she's complicated and very sensitive to small changes. And we just need to be in tune with those changes so that we can sail her better, allow her to do her job.
Number one, the crew has to know what sail is what, so that was kind of step one, is we got all the sails labeled, we got all the nomenclature figured out. Everybody knows what each sail is called. And step two, we have to figure out what sail is fast in certain conditions. So we got a good group of trimmers, good helmsmen, so we've been able to record the data and start to take a look at where the crossovers are. So you guys are going to know what sails to bring to Bermuda and when to put them up.
The numbers coming in aren't necessarily right, because they need to be calibrated, and they haven't been calibrated before. So, for example, we've been seeing really fast boat speeds, which look great and give us a lot of confidence, but unfortunately they're not correct. We're actually going a lot slower than.
So those of us steering are going to start feeling like we're going backwards. Is that what you're saying?
Well, yeah, that's right. But I'm trying to make the boat speeds a little bit more realistic today, so that we get a better idea of our performance. So that's been the major challenge this week. But once we got the numbers right, that's when we can start analysing which sails are better than others, which points of sail we're good at and which we're not so good at. So.
One thing we learned about sailing Dorade in light air this week is that in about 6 knots of breeze, or sometimes a little more, when it gets lumpy, the tacking angles widen out to 105, 110 degrees even. But if we get 7 or 8 knots of breeze, the boat tacks through 90 degrees, begins to go very fast. It's a very slim hull shape. As soon as it has good speed through the water, begins to point nicely.
You can't be too strapped, especially in the sloppy stuff that we see around here. And the boat has to breathe and the boat has to run, so other than when we have the rare opportunity to sail in flat water, the main lesson you've got to pay attention.
So your position on the boat, we should back up and maybe say it revolves around this winch and the one on the other side, right?
Yeah, and it's underwater quite often. So
you actually experienced that yesterday, even though this has been a light air regatta.
That's right. But I think if they could develop a one-piece Gore-Tex suit that went from head to toe, I think that would be the call for Bermuda.
The boat keeps us busy because at peak periods we've got 5 sails up with only 10 crew members, so we're all kept quite busy.
So Steve, you have a few bits of hardware behind you on the mast. It's a little different than most boats. Is that taking some getting used to?
It has, and I can honestly say I haven't sailed on a boat with a belaying pin before, but this kind of rounds out my nautical experience, from the latest toys to back to the original TP52 Ultralight, which was Dorade. 52 feet long, won the Transpac race, and we've still got her rigged like she was at the time. No clutches on the boat, snuck in a couple cam cleats, and but she's quite a bit to handle, and she's a lot of fun. She really is.
How old is the boat?
She's over 80 years old.
Wonderful boat. You keep it in very good condition and still fast. You are very good.